All right, welcome to Unit 3. We are going to start with 3.1, talking about relations and functions. So today we're going to represent a relation in a variety of ways, determine the domain and range of a relation, determine whether a relation is a function, and then evaluate a function using function notation. So what is a relation? Let's start there. So a relation is just a set of ordered pairs. So for example, I could have something like -2, 1, 0, -3, 1, 6, 3, 2, and 4, 1. All right, so that is, again, just a set of ordered pairs. If I wanted to list the domain, which again is just the set of the first components, that would be -2, 0, 1, 3, 4. If I wanted to look at the range, which is the set of second components, that would just be 1, -3, 6, and 2. And if a y, or if a range value, which oftentimes we say y, but not always, repeats, we do not have to write it twice. So in this case, we see 1 is written twice, but we don't have to include that in our set. Okay, so the difference between a relation and a function has to be where each element in the domain corresponds to exactly one element in the range. So the x values cannot repeat. Okay, so if we look at this diagram over here, we see 4 different ways to represent relations. We could have ordered pairs, which is like what we did up here. We could see a mapping diagram, which you're going to see on the next page. And that arrows show how to pair each input with an output. So -3 goes to 4, 3 goes to -1, 4 goes to -1, 4 goes to 3. So there would be 4 ordered pairs in that relation if I were to write that. We can see a table or we can see a graph. All right, so let's look at first just a couple examples of whether these relations are functions. So again, in order to determine if that's a function, we cannot have the domain values or oftentimes the x values repeat. So in this one, I see 4 twice, and it has 2 different y values as well, so that is a no. We cannot have the same x value. Okay, if I look at number 2, -3 goes to -2, 0 goes to 7, 4 goes to 1. Each of those range values only has 1 arrow coming out of it, so that would be a yes. And then if you're looking at your packet, we're skipping ahead to number 5. This is a person's height to their age. If we think about this, as you're growing, you might be 5'2" and then 5'3", but eventually you get to 5'6" and you stay there, right? So let's say this is 18, 19, 20, 21, so on and so forth, right? So this would be a no because your height can stay the same even as your age increases, which would, so that would be repeated. So that would be a no. Okay, so again, the relation is a function. The way that we determine that is if those x values repeat. If we're looking at a graph of a relation, we can use the vertical line test, which a vertical line test passes through no more than 1 point of a relation. If it does, then it's not a function. So this is an example of it not being a function. Okay, and why is that the case? Well, if I have this, like this graph here that I'm looking at, this point and this point would be the same x value, right? So that would show us that there are repeated x values. which we know we cannot have. So that's why the vertical line test works. Okay, so if I look at some of these graphs, this first one, I draw a vertical line, it hits here and it hits here, so that is a no. All right, if I look at B, there's just some points, but anywhere I draw these lines, they might be close, but none of them are in the exact same spot, and so that's a yes. And then same with C, no matter where I draw the line, it's going to touch this graph one time exactly, right? And again, this is a good example of, yes, the Y values can repeat as long as the X values don't. That is, yes, it's a function. Okay, and then lastly, we're going to talk about functions themselves. So the function rule is an equation that represents an output value in terms of an input value. So the independent value, which we oftentimes call x, represents the input of the function. And then the dependent value, which is y or f of x, represents the output of the function. So if we look down here, in previous units, we have said y equals 3x plus 2. When we use function notation, we're going to just kind of substitute out that y for f of x, but it means the same thing. So it's a function of x, f of x, because x is our variable. And so then if we look at this last example, when I see f of 1, that means I plug in a 1 where that x would have been. So to evaluate, to figure out what's the output for this given, for the input, again, we're taking this value inside there. That is our input. Where are we putting that in? Let me make that a little bit clearer. In right there in that x for the input. So all I'm doing for this first one is plugging in 3 for x into my function. So for f of 3, I'm going to do 2 times 3 minus 3, which is 6 minus 3, so my answer is 3. Okay, for f of x plus 1, again, I'm taking what's inside my parentheses, plugging it in for x there. So 2 times x plus 1 minus 3. We need to make sure we distribute. So I have 2x plus 2 minus 3 gives me 2x minus 1. Okay, and this last one, we're going to do this in 2 parts, actually. So we're going to start by doing f of 4x. So I'm going to kind of just write that so I know that I'm doing f of 4x first. So again, wherever my x is, I'm going to just put 4x. So that gives me 8x minus 3. And now I'm going to take that and I'm going to say 3 times f of 4x, which we already said is at 8x minus 3. So I'm going to take 3 times that. Again, we have to distribute here, but then my final answer is 24x minus 9. So that is a quick overview of everything with relations and functions.